From your local news authority, local, in-depth, community, you're watching KFDX 3 News at 10, home of Super Bowl 60 and the 2026 Winter Olympics.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Aaron Gonders.
And I'm Carney Porter. Several new cases have been filed in Texoma after grand juries have returned their first wave of indictments in the new year.
Josh Hoggard looked into some of the charges and allegations from those indictments and joins us now with more. Josh?
Yeah, guys, the first indictments of 2026 have been published by the district clerk's office. But first, a man jailed on aggravated assault charges after police say he used a goose statue as a weapon. Larry Villarreal of Electra was booked into the Wichita County Jail early this morning on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, later bonding out today as well after posting his $10,000 bond. According to the arrest affidavit, WFPD officers responded to an assault in the 1100 block of Douglas Road just seconds before midnight. And when they spoke with the victim, he alleged that Villarreal had been provoking him all night, adding that he believed Villarreal to be intoxicated. The victim said Villarreal began striking him in the face with a closed fist, eventually grabbing a statue of a goose and using it as a weapon, causing multiple lacerations on the victim's forearm, and then fleeing to the next-door neighbor's house to hide from law enforcement. Police say they found Villarreal at the neighbor's house and took him into custody. And a Wichita County grand jury also came back with its first wave of indictments for the new year. Among those, a man now facing a formal charge after allegedly setting off a grass fire inside city limits last year. Last Wednesday, a Wichita County grand jury indicted Matthew Gregory for arson, stemming from a grass fire back in October. Now, court documents show that the Wichita Falls Fire Department responded to the grass fire on Industrial Road and Radio Lane just after 7 p.m. on October 14th, where they found a medium-sized grass fire. Witnesses on the scene told police they saw someone in the field where the fire started, leading police to discover Gregory in that field with a lighter and a torch. But they said he was unable to explain why he had either. Gregory now remains in custody on bonds totaling nearly $160,000. Finally, a woman with a lengthy criminal history in Wichita Falls now has an even longer one after Wichita County grand jury returned 12 individual indictments against her for a string of thefts at major national retailers in Wichita Falls. 31-year-old Electra woman Chelsea Hoyt has been in the custody of the Wichita County Sheriff's Office since last October. And last Wednesday, a grand jury returned 12 individual indictments against her, each charging her with a different count of theft under $2,500 with 2 or more previous convictions. Those stem from an alleged string of thefts from 5 major national retailers located within Wichita Falls between September 2024 and February 2025. Those include Lowe's, Old Navy, United Supermarkets, Walmart, and Target. Now, she's alleged to have stolen a variety of items from each place, with court documents alleging she stole from Target on 6 separate occasions, taking e-bikes, scooters, video game equipment, and wireless headphones, among other items. Of course, for the latest on felony cases in Texoma, from new arrests, recently filed indictments, details from court documents, pending appeal cases, and of course, upcoming jury trials, make sure that you're following us both on air and online at TexomasHomepage.com.
All right, Josh, thank you so much for bringing us all those updates. We sure do appreciate it. All right, let's switch things over now to Chief Meteorologist Michael Bowling for a look outside. And Michael, it's going to be pretty mild in those early morning hours.
Yeah, not too bad. Pretty similar to where we have been lately, maybe just a little bit warmer than it has been the last couple of days, though. Satellite radar across the area does show some cloud cover rolling into the area. This cloud cover, along with some southwest winds, will keep us a little bit warmer here through the overnight hours, although it will start to break up some here as we get into the hours after midnight. Current temperature outside is still 50 degrees in Wichita Falls. I'm going to look around here. Yeah, we're the warm spot across the region. Not very often we can say that that at this time of night for us to be the warmest spot, especially when you got Austin and Houston down there. They're cooler than us at 45, 48 in Dallas, Fort Worth, 39 in Oklahoma City, 44 in Midland. That's thanks to the cloud cover that we have over the region right now, along with those southwest winds. Both of those keep us just a little bit warmer here as we go into the night. And we are 7 degrees warmer than we were 24 hours ago. So a nice mild night so far. It is going to be pretty nice here again for tomorrow afternoon. But as we go into Wednesday, it's going to get pretty windy here. We'll talk about that and a cooler weekend returning coming up here in a few minutes, guys.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Michael. We will see you in a little bit. And state headlines, the trial against a former Uvalde Schools police officer for his response to the Rive Elementary School shooting continues.
The state is alleging Adrian Gonzalez failed to act to stop a gunman from entering a school, killing 19 kids and 2 teachers. So far in the trial, defense attorneys established that Gonzalez could not see the gunman when the shooter was firing his gun from the parking lot into the school. That's because Gonzalez was on the opposite side of the school building.
But the state alleges a witness told Gonzalez where the shooter was, saying the officer failed to take immediate steps to stop the threat. Special Prosecutor Bill Turner asked a Texas Ranger testifying today what he would have done in the same situation.
And do they train you in active shooters to wait on other people, or is there such a thing as training about solo entry?
There is training on solo entry, but in general, everybody's trained that you get to the threat, whether you're by yourself or not.
The day of the shooting, there were other officers at the scene at the same time as Gonzalez, and the defense team claims those officers had a better line of sight to the shooter. In court, the same Texas Ranger agreed that other officers did have a better line of sight of the shooter than Gonzalez.
Now back here at home, City Councilman Robert Brooks is speaking out about the treatment of a young woman during her arrest last summer. Victoria Lang is a local college student whose family says she went to a McDonald's restroom looking for safety, but instead ended up in handcuffs. The arrest happened in August of last year, but city leaders say the situation didn't gain wider attention until months later, after body cam footage was reviewed and raised serious concerns about how Victoria was handled. That review ultimately led to an internal investigation and a criminal referral to the Texas Rangers. Since then, one Wichita Falls officer has been fired and the other has resigned. However, City Councilman Robert Brooks says that action came far too late. Brooks says after watching the video himself, he believes what happened should have been addressed immediately, calling the delay unacceptable and demanding justice for the family.
That little girl done nothing wrong. I watched that baby get drugged. I watched that baby get choked. I watched that baby get told by the police officer, you're gonna punch her? You're telling her you're gonna punch her? You seriously told her you're gonna punch her? That's crazy.
The victim's mother, a deputy police chief herself, says she reached out to the WFPD the day after the arrest after she had not heard from her daughter. She says months later, she's yet to receive a response. Now, the family is calling for criminal charges against the 2 former officers and for accountability at the leadership level within the police department. As of now, the Texas Rangers continue to investigate and no charges have been announced yet. City officials say the release of body camera footage will depend on the outcome of that investigation.
After nearly 10 years as the president of the Shepherd Military Affairs Committee, Glenn Barham is retiring in April. Barham is calling this his 3rd retirement. The former mayor and former Wichita Falls police officer took the role back in 2016. And when he first signed on, he says he was nervous, knowing he had no military background. But he knew and still knows how important Shepherd is to the community. Barham reflects on the committee's inception when the base lost the medical training wing in 2005. Today, Barham says he believes Shepherd is secure in its current missions and its future.
SMAC's been successful over the years. Now, I'm not saying that SMAC's why Shepherd's still here, but I think we had a small part in that to keep Shepherd as big as it is and to keep both of those wings out there.
Barham says District City 4 Councilor Mike Battolino will take his place on April 1st.
The plans to consolidate 2 WFISD elementary schools are now moving forward.
Tonight, WFISD board members officially recognize the upcoming plans for McNeil and Jefferson Elementary. These plans include the opening of McNeil, the closure of Jefferson, and the ongoing construction timeline. According to WFISD Superintendent Dr. Donnie Lee, although the closure of Jefferson Elementary has previously been been recommended, board policy states the board must officialize the closure before the process can move forward. Dr. Lee says the opening of McNeil will be the district's third recent renovation project and says they're getting pretty good at the process.
We're right on schedule with it, and our budget is right there as well. Actually, we're a little bit under budget, and we're right on schedule. The construction process will be done in May, and then the move-in process begins with getting all the furniture and things over from Jefferson, which we won't be carrying over all the old stuff anyway. We'll be getting brand new FF&E. So it's an exciting time, and it's going to be a state-of-the-art elementary.
According to Dr. Lee, WFISD students who would have attended Jefferson will move to the McNeil campus, as well as portions of West Elementary and Fowler Elementary.
We don't go anywhere. Michael is coming up next with a look at his full forecast.
And a little later, see the inspiration behind Shakespeare's star-crossed lovers, Romeo and Juliet, in tonight's Destination to Italy. We'll be right back.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
At Hickory Recovery Network, we are dedicated to being a national leader in the treatment of substance use and co-occurring mental health disorders. Our mission is to provide compassionate, structured, and evidence-based care through our expanding network. Now in Texas, Hickory Treatment Center treatment to help individuals build a foundation for lasting recovery. Need help? Call Hickory's 24/7 admissions team today.